Hey guys, my name is Ian Westland. I'm going to be doing a brief rundown of episode 104 of American Horror Story, The Replacements. First of all, I just have to say this is my favorite episode of the season thus far. It's not really saying much because each one has gotten progressively better, but already, I just feel like it has such a different tone to last season that it has been a little bit hard for me to readjust. That being said, things are, definitely picking up. So first, we start out with the wonderful Christine Ebersol making her American Horror Story debut as the former Supreme, and I think it's excellent casting. Although her makeup making her look so much older, I'd like to see something maybe with her earlier on. Hopefully, we'll get to see a flash of that later in the season. But we learned kind of two huge pieces of information then. First one is that the Supreme, or well, actually, it's three pieces of information that we learned. First one is that the Supreme has to perform seven wonders in order to become the Supreme. The second is that four to five, or that any witch can have about four to five powers, but the Supreme will have all seven, and that's the seven wonders. And you have to, I'm guessing that's the pyromancy and the being able to see the future, that sort of stuff. Um, then, uh, then the other major thing that we learned is that Anna Lee, the former Supreme, was murdered, cut across the throat. Um, had her throat slit by Fiona, and so this comes back at the end when Fiona slits the throat of Madison. But spoilers, so we'll get there in a second. Um, Another thing is that the butler saw both times, which um, it'll be interesting to see when he actually, like when he lost his tongue, because it might have been before that, might be after it. We're not sure yet. Um, uh, Next, we have some stuff with Fiona, and she wants to be young again, and she's gonna get a facelift, but wants to see how the sausage is made. But nobody wants to see that. You just want it done. It reminded me of this awful facelift that I saw actually just yesterday down in Santa Monica, and it just made me realize, like, why would you ever want that kind of sausage made on your face? I just don't know. Next, we get to the storyline of what I'm now calling Frankenstein's Momster. So, the storyline through the episode is basically that Kyle is apparently been abused by his mom sexually, and so I have um, you know I mean, I have so much to say on that in terms of, huh? Like, yeah, it was, I mean, it's totally within the realm of American Horror Story, and if we didn't think incest was going to be happening in a show set in Louisiana, an American Horror Story set in Louisiana, we were all mistaken. I just, I didn't see it coming until the moment when she was in the shower, like the shower thing, and then I was just like, oh, she knows her son's peeing. Okay. Um, so Back to Madison. Madison sees Patty LaPone moving in with her son Luke, the very cute new neighbor boy, and um, they when Madison and the clairvoyant, who I'm blanking on her name right now, when they go across the street, um, they find, or when they go not across the street, next door with a cake, Madison discovers that she has a new power, and this time it's pyromancy or pyrokinesis, or she can light things on fire. Um, and when Fiona hears this, she realizes um, kind of what's going on. Also, one of the better scenes, just editing wise, that they had today was Fiona and her daughter at the same time receiving bad news from doctors, and you learn that um, the daughter, I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's completely infertile. This leads her to go visit Angela Bassett because I don't know, Angela Bassett's in every episode. Why doesn't she get better billing? I don't know. I don't get it. Um, but this also leads Fiona to go to a very big extreme, which is to just kill off Madison. She so doesn't want to die. She's so not ready to move on that. And actually, come to think about it, the Fiona Madison thing, I think it was a test. Had Madison had the balls to kill Fiona, I think Fiona would have welcomed it, like honestly. But when she didn't, I think she was just like, ah, fuck this bitch, and I just got her. Let's see. Oh, so with the whole another coming to power, my thought as it was happening was, okay, maybe it's gonna be Madison, but she's just gonna be getting a couple of powers, but in reality, it's actually Zoe. And that may still be the case, which is Madison wasn't about to be it. That Zoe, now that Zoe's realized her stuff, and that happened all at the same time. So it might actually be Zoe that's the Supreme, or well, now that Madison's can't be because she's dead, maybe Zoe will become the Supreme. Let's see. Uh, I love we get Patty and Fiona in the same room together. Just when you thought the show couldn't get gay enough, they definitely succeeded in that. I love the line, she needs to work on her aim. And then yeah, like the shower thing with the mom and it was just, that was rough, rough. And then I loved Angela Bassett sitting on her voodoo throne playing solitaire on her iPad. I love the juxtaposition of all these, like, it's modern, but at the same time, it's these like really arcane things that they're talking about and dealing with. But then, they still live in modern day. I love that. I love it. I want some more of it. Then they go in and they talk about the entire process, which I feel like because they showed it to us now, it's never going to happen. The process of like the voodoo process of impregnating someone and like the boiling sperm and the hot pepper. I thought they were gonna put the hot pepper in her hot pepper, and I was real worried there for a second. But instead, they just slit a goat's throat above her vagina. Um, but she won't do it because um, you are the daughter of my one true enemy. I love the clairvoyant being like, you know what, like it sucks hearing everybody's voice, but these help, and like puts on the headphones. Um, then no need to apologize. Our actions speak for themselves. I really enjoyed that line from Fiona. Again, this was a great episode for Fiona. She was really on top of things. Then Bastian's back, and Gabrielle Sidibe tries to go to town on him, and so there's some hot woman on Manitor action. Not sure how I feel about that. And then, I mean, well, we'll see if it even fully comes to fruition or what it ends up being, because that's just the whole thing. I love Fiona's line of led a disreputable life, but I did it in style. And then something covered it in Chanel. Just great job. Seriously, they know how to write for her. And then, of course, it leads up to her killing Madison. Like, she faked being drunk, and they were showing with the pictures and stuff, and then slit her throat. Leading up to the best line, which was, this coven doesn't need a new Supreme, it needs a new rug. Perfect. Like, just put a button on that. Like, sign still delivered. Great episode. I'm not really big on rating things, especially in something like this where, there has to be episodes where they kind of just push plot so that they can get to good ones. But Um, I give it 2 thumbs up. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire almost hour, like 50 minutes. Which I feel like they've been, yeah, these have been longer episodes, which is cool. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so that's been my review, and kind of a brief run through. And then in terms of what I think is going to happen, I think Zoe is still going to be the new Supreme. She's going to get a little bit more active, especially as she has to deal with this Kyle situation. Um, and especially because Madison's now out of the way. Madison will be coming back, rising from the dead. We have definitely not heard the last of Misty, and I think in general, we're gonna see just a lot happening in terms of the playing around with the head three witches again still, but that's kind of obvious. It's not really a prediction. All right. Thanks for your time.